A young man sits alone in a dimly lit bedroom at night. Empty pizza boxes and takeout containers litter the desk, suggesting a long day of work. The glow of his computer monitor illuminates his tired face, his eyes scanning the screen listlessly. As the clock strikes midnight, he shuts down his laptop, letting out a long sigh before collapsing onto his bed. As darkness envelops the room, the faint glow of his phone's notification light pierces the gloom. With a tired smile, he reaches for it. On the screen, a new message from an unknown number. The room, dimly lit by the phone's screen, seems to shrink around him. With bated breath, he reads the message, his eyes widening in surprise. Then, as if jolted by a sudden realization, he swipes away the message and buries his face in his pillow, muttering, "I knew I should have blocked this number." A moment passes. The room is silent except for the faint hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. Then the phone on his bedside table begins to ring, its insistent ringing echoing in the suddenly small space. The glowing screen illuminates his fearful face as he stares at the caller ID, his heart pounding against his ribs. It's the unknown number from earlier, the one he didn't recognize. His hand trembles as he considers answering, his gaze flickering around the room as if seeking an escape. Finally, with a deep breath, he swipes to answer. On the other end of the line, a weak, distorted voice whispers, "I'm right behind you." The voice sends a chill down his spine and he whips around, frantically searching the darkened room. The only response is the whispering voice. He turns back to the bed, his eyes darting about, unable to shake the feeling that he's not alone. Slowly, the camera pans to the corner of the room, revealing a dark shadow lurking in the gloom. But when the light is turned on, there's nothing there. He turns back to the bed, his eyes wide with fear, and the voice continues to whisper, "I'm right behind you." Then suddenly the line goes dead. The room is plunged into silence, broken only by the sound of his own ragged breathing. But then the phone rings again. Its insistent ringing pierces the silence. He stares at the screen, his face ashen. This time, however, the caller ID shows his own number. Terror-stricken, he hesitates, unsure whether to answer. But as the phone continues to ring, he eventually swipes to answer. On the other end of the line, there's only heavy breathing, and it sounds like it's coming from right beside him. He freezes, his eyes widening in horror as he realizes that the breathing is his own. His face pales and beads of sweat form on his forehead. The breathing becomes louder, more panicked, mirroring his own racing heartbeat. Then, just as suddenly, it stops. He's left trembling, his eyes darting around the room, desperate to see what's behind him. The camera begins to move slowly behind him, keeping his face hidden from view as it pans to the corner of the room. There, in the darkness, a dark figure begins to emerge. The figure takes a step forward, then another, and as it moves, the light from the phone screen casts dancing shadows on the wall behind him. He still doesn't see the figure, but we do. The figure is tall and thin, its edges blurred as if it's not quite solid. The breathing that had stopped moments before starts again, this time coming from the figure. It takes another step forward, and this time we can see its face. It's pale and gaunt, with deep-set eyes that seem to glow in the darkness. The man still doesn't know that he's being hunted. He's too busy staring at the phone in his hand, his eyes wide with terror. The figure takes a final step forward and lunges at him. The screen goes black as a loud, ear-piercing sound fills the room.